Hello everybody, this is Pitch Skull Black here, and welcome to a Big Finish review, something that I haven't really done a lot of on the channel, and this Big Finish review is going to be on the monthly Ranger release Project Twilight, the first of hopefully many Big Finish reviews to come on this channel. So if we were to take a look at the cover art of this Big Finish audio, we have the Big Finish logo, Doctor Who, Project Twilight, starring Colin Baker, an original audio drama on a double CD, and then for the cover art itself, we kind of have the Docklands area, or the forge, with a bit of barbed wire up there, the suitcase full of blood packs that appears in the middle of the story, and the Sixth Doctor himself there. And then for the spine, we have a picture of the Sixth Doctor from the cover, Doctor Who, Project Twilight, Big Finish logo, and this is the 23rd in Big Finish's monthly range series of Doctor Who audios. And then for the back, we have the Doctor Who logo, Project Twilight, a 4-part story starring Colin Baker with Maggie Stables and Holly D. John and Rob Dixon, written by Cavan Scott and Mark Wright, directed by Gary Russell. The synopsis, various copyright bits and pieces, and the running time, which is 110 minutes approximately. In the renovated Docklands of southeast London, on the banks of the River Thames, the doors of the dusk are open for business, bets are called, cards are dealt, and roulette wheels spun. As fortunes are won and lost, an inhuman killer stalks the local venues and alleyways, a killer with a taste for flesh. Is there more to the casino owner, Reggie the Gent Mead, or is he just a common gangster? What secrets are hidden in the bowels of the dusk, and what connection does the apparently sleazy Bermondsey Casino have to a long-buried government initiative known as Project Twilight? The Doctor must form uneasy alliances where the line between friend and enemy is blurred, playing games of chance, but are the stakes then for the interior of this release? We have the first disc there, containing the first 2 parts, and then the second disc there containing the second 2 parts. And this might be kind of hard to tell, but the disc artwork is of the blood packs. And then there you've got a nice behind the scenes photo of Colin Baker and Maggie Stables. We have the cover art once again. Project Twilight, a bit about the behind the scenes and the crew. Some nice pictures from behind the scenes. Would be kind of Radio Times listings for the Then we story. Have a list of other Big Finish audio dramas from the time, Doctor Who, The Tomorrow People, Beneath Summerfield, and other bits and pieces such as Doctor Who novels and Doctor Who magazine advertisement there. Just the listings of what is on the discs, cut bit from the cover, and a bit from the authors Cavan Scott and Mark Wright. The Sixth Doctor on TV had one of the most troubled runs in terms of production and overall time on the show. His era started with the last story of season 21, The Twin Dilemma, which is one of the most hated stories of all time, that followed one of the most loved stories of all time, The Caves of Androzani. And in his first full season of playing the character, a more mature tone was implemented, resulting in his Doctor being quite brash in some regards, with the stories being more violent, like with Attack of the Cybermen and the notorious Vengeance on Varos, which attracted criticism and controversy at the time, leading to an 18-month hiatus for the show. The show did eventually return with The Trial of a Time Lord, an epic 14-episode saga that seemed to be acknowledging that the show was literally on trial at this point, with it being on the brink of cancellation. For me, this was ultimately a very successful season, which ended up toning down the character of the Sixth Doctor quite a bit, foregoing those harsh tendencies that season 22 had. Whenever talking about this audio here today, I feel that it is interesting to note the background of Colin's TV history as a Doctor here, because this story feels like a culmination of both, with it having the grit and more mature tones that Season 22 had, but with the more neuter Doctor that Season 23 presented us. The main character here is on fine form, I would have said, and is written extremely well, with him having many moments that are humorous and light, such as him having a Chinese takeaway at the start of this audio, during which he drops a nice reference to Marco Polo, with his wonderful companion Evelyn Smythe, whom he shows some great care for throughout this story. One of my favourite parts of this story is the whole layer of mythos that the writers were able to implement throughout this audio, namely through the Sixth Doctor as well, like him singing the Zagreus nursery rhyme at the start, and also him later detailing the conflicts that Gallifrey and the vampires have had in the past. This added a lot of depth and intrigue to the story for me, and made it all the more compelling, as well as making me interested in listening to this audio sequel, Project Lazarus, at some point. For other characters in this story, one of the highlights is Nimrod, who gets some great development and some very good moments, and I could say the same with the rather violent and alcoholic character Reggie, not to mention Cassie, who is a character you can easily sympathise with, whom Evelyn gels really well with, and has some great interactions. The overall plot and ideas that this story has are just incredible, with the Twilight virus adding a big sense of scale to the proceedings, not to mention the hospital network under the casino that the vampires use as a base of operations. As well as the Gallifrey stuff that I mentioned earlier, the story also has a tremendous amount of depth to it, with the forge and the details that get mentioned and created about how long it has gone on for and what history there is behind it. The story is also extremely atmospheric, with some fantastic pieces of music and sound design, particularly whenever the story has a graphic moment, such as a body expanding and exploding at one point, which is realised through a very squelchy and disgusting-like manner. Overall, from what I've heard, this is one of the best Big Finish audios in my opinion. Thanks to the company, mainly this audio but others included, as well as the novels, the Sixth Doctor has become my third favourite Doctor. Thanks to them, they have shown how much of a great character that Colin Baker's iteration can be, and this is one of the very best examples of this in my opinion. I'm going to be rating Project Twilight a 10 out of 10.